Let's talk to Narendra Taneja about this. He's a global energy expert. Narendra, thanks so much for taking the time. Apologies, my last conversation got extended a little bit. But the bottom line and the crux of this is this an imaginary reserve of oil that we're talking about in Pakistan?
Well, there are no large reserves in Pakistan. I mean, where is the scientific evidence? The politicians talking about it, that they have got huge reserves. Then you got President Trump. It seems that Pakistan had managed to sell this story to President Trump, and without checking with oil companies in the US or the energy department in the US, he has already made this kind of announcement that there is a deal. Where is the deal? Who has signed the deal? In America, they don't have state-owned oil companies, unlike places like India or Russia or Saudi Arabia. There's not a single state-owned oil company. Then who has signed the deal? ExxonMobil, they haven't signed. Chevron, they haven't signed. Occidental, they haven't signed. Then who has signed the deal? These are all American companies. So, or the government has signed the deal. Government is not in the business of exploration and production of oil in America, to the best of my knowledge. Now, such a scenario, it looks like, that is kind of more in the like fiction at the moment. A Pakistani politician is selling this to, have been selling this story to the people of Pakistan. Look, we are going to be the next Saudi Arabia, and you all are going to be filthy rich, and we're going to have lots of sheikhs in Pakistan, and so on and so forth. But there's nothing on the ground. They have tried, for instance, to drill, in Karachi offshore. They didn't find anything. In Balochistan offshore, they've been submitted, but they haven't found anything. They've got some shale gas, that's what they claim. They have some natural gas in Sindh and also in the frontier. But the size of the reserves is very, very small. Before you say that you have got huge reserves, as President Trump said, you need to have some scientific evidence. There is no evidence.
So then, Mr. Taneja, the question arises, why is the statement being made? And of course, the context is important. This is a time when we're negotiating.
They're going to use so much of oil and the reserves are so large.
Mr. Taneja, am I audible to you?
Yes.
So, my question therefore is, why is this statement being made by Donald Trump? It's apparent that the context is important and the deal that is potentially being negotiated between these two countries, and this seems to be pressure tactics.
Well, there are two reasons to me, it looks like. First of all, I think, there's very clear, evidence that, America is trying to get close to, or Pakistan is trying to get close to America. And American theory seems to be that they are doing all this to wean Pakistan away from China. That seems to be a geopolitical, diplomatic agenda. And at the same time, using Pakistan, knowing it very well that Pakistan is a very touchy issue, economic, politics, whatever, in India. So it's probably to use it as a kind of, tactics during the negotiations, the trade negotiations. But if it's very clear, President Trump does know India well. I mean, it's not going to work. India is going to protect its national interest, and whatever decisions need to be taken would be taken. Such kind of tactics have never worked, when it comes to India. And especially if you say that they're sitting on these huge reserves of gas and they're next Saudi Arabia or Russia or Iran and so on and so forth, it's not going to work, because we know the geology of that region. We know it very well. We have got geological data, other data, from the pre-partition time. Don't forget that oil was discovered in India before it was discovered in Iran and Saudi Arabia. We built the first refinery in Asia way back, more than 100 years ago. And we had the first oil well in India, decades before it happened in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, and all these countries. We know it very well. He should know that.
Very important points that you're raising, Mr. Taneja. Apologies, I'm going to have to cut this conversation short, but I think you've made all of the most important points. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.